Since the Cold War era, the United States has relied on strategic bombers as symbols of its global air power, long-range platforms capable of delivering conventional or nuclear weapons to any point on Earth. The B-52 Stratofortress, B-1B Lancer, and B-2 Spirit became legends that maintained air supremacy for decades. But with an aging fleet, increasingly sophisticated enemy air defenses, and new geopolitical challenges, America needed a definitive response. That response is the Northrop Grumman B-21 Raider, the first new-generation strategic bomber in 30 years, developed in absolute secrecy. Today, Red Phantom uncovers what makes this aircraft so special and how it will reshape modern warfare. Before we explore America's bomber evolution, B-21's revolutionary stealth technology, and why China is concerned, support Red Phantom with like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Here, strategic bomber technology, loyal wingman drones, and air power dynamics are discussed with facts, not hype, for those following military aviation from the B-52 era to today's NG-8. Welcome to Red Phantom. Strategic bombers aren't just aircraft, they're projections of global power. The legendary B-52 Stratofortress entered service in 1955 and still flies today after 8 decades of continuous modernization. The B-1B Lancer was born as a 1980s compromise, Mach 1.25 speed at high altitude with improved radar protection, enabling over 100 units built in just 6 years. But the true masterpiece arrived in 1989 with the B-2 Spirit, flying wing design without vertical tails, special radar-absorbing coatings, and engineering solutions minimizing thermal and radar signatures. B-2 could penetrate the deepest enemy air defense zones undetected, proving its effectiveness during the 1999 NATO Yugoslavia operation, where 3 B-2s from Missouri handled 11% of all coalition strikes with pinpoint precision and no losses. Later in Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, B-2 flew directly from the US, struck, and returned without using foreign bases. Yet at $2.1 billion per unit, equivalent to $4.3 billion today, production was limited to just 21 aircraft, and their hangars maintained strict temperature and humidity to preserve stealth coatings. Over time, even B-2 became vulnerable to modern multi-frequency radars, passive sensors, and data fusion from drones to satellites. By the 2010, the US Air Force faced harsh reality. B-52 endures through modernization, but at 70 years old, B-1B exited the nuclear triad with only half the fleet combat-ready. B-2 remained engineering pinnacle, but too expensive and complex for mass production. New threats emerged: hypersonic weapons, anti-satellite technology, combat lasers, advanced air defenses, and AI adapting real-time to enemy tactics. China built A2/AD networks across the South China Sea. Russia developed S-500 and VHF radars. The conclusion was clear. A new generation strategic bomber was needed, not just stealth, but a multi-role platform ready for coming decades' challenges. In 2011, the Long Range Strike Bomber, or LRSB, program launched for an intercontinental stealth bomber carrying conventional and thermonuclear weapons, plus serving as ISR platform, combat control, and interceptor. The contract went to Northrop Grumman, B-2's architects, with firm promises to stay within budget after the B-2 price scandal. Named B-21 as the first 21st century bomber, Raider honors Doolittle Raiders who struck Japan in 1942. B-21 debuted publicly in December 2022 at Plant 42 in Palmdale, California. Similar to B-20, but not just B-2.0, its flying wing returns to the original advanced technology bomber configuration without Spirit's saw-toothed trailing edge, making it even more optimized for high-altitude, high-performance flight with near-zero radar signature from all angles. Higher operating ceiling means better sensor and communication line of sight, superior situational awareness, higher survivability, and greater data volume to allies like F-47 NGAD, part of the family of systems. B-21's open architecture enables routine upgrades with hypersonic missiles, directed energy weapons, or future advanced munitions. High altitude also evades detection by enemy fighters or AWACS. B-21 size is about 2/3 of B-2, but internal weapons bays are truncated for more fuel capacity, dramatically extending operational range. 2 engines, not 4 like B-2, promise high fuel efficiency. Deeply recessed air intakes dramatically improve stealth from all aspects. A notoriously difficult stealth design challenge brilliantly solved by Northrop engineers. Many speculated B-21's smaller size limits payload, but its nuclear specialization prioritizes AGM-181 LRSO, stealthy nuclear-armed long-range standoff cruise missiles. By December 2022, this missile completed 9 test flights, passing critical design review by March 2023, ready for B-21 and B-52 integration. Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall hinted at future B-21 munitions, including directed energy weapons like Lockheed Martin's actively tested combat lasers. The NGAD and Raider family of systems also includes Collaborative Combat Aircraft, CCA, AI-loyal wingman drones receiving $8.9 billion funding from 2025 to 2029, reducing need for additional manned squadrons. Pre-production B-21 prototype flight tests are active, 5 more under construction, plus non-flying gliders supporting testing. Target fleet of 100 Raiders by early 2030s with total $203 billion cost over 30 years, $700 million per unit, several times cheaper than B-2's $2 billion. B-21 isn't just a bomber, it's a 6th-generation global precision strike platform with sensor-shoot capability. Extreme operational range enables 24-plus-hour marathon missions from US bases without foreign stops, avoiding forward base vulnerabilities. Smaller design reduces radar and IR signature, enhancing survivability against Russian S-400, S-500, or Chinese HQ-9 systems. As air quarterback, B-21 coordinates F-47 NGAD fighters, CCA drones, and satellites in a unified combat network. China develops the H-20 bomber, but trails decades in stealth, sensor fusion, and mass production. B-21 strengthens US nuclear triad with superior deterrence credibility. China understands attacks on US territory trigger undetectable B-21 response. In the Indo-Pacific, Raider operates from Guam and Alaska, penetrates Chinese A2/AD bubbles, strikes critical targets, and returns safely. Northrop Grumman has made firm promises for strict cost control after the bitter B-2 experience that ballooned to $2 billion per unit. They're implementing economic order quantity strategy, producing in large batches gradually to maintain stable industrial base, efficient supply chain, and competitive per-unit pricing for the target minimum of 100 Raiders plus potential for more. Low-rate initial production is scheduled to start in 2026, with 6 initial lots producing combat test prototypes and pre-production jets, paving the way to initial operational capability in the late 2020s, early 2030s. Much faster than previous bomber programs, thanks to X-plane demonstrators already testing core aerodynamics, stealth, and systems. The biggest challenges include integrating hypersonic weapons like AGM-183 AARRW, requiring internal weapons bay modifications and new fire control software, testing collaborative combat aircraft networks for real-time synchronization with loyal wingman drone swarms in operational missions, and creating affordable sustainment models for a large fleet. Since B-2 required climate-controlled hangars, B-21 uses next-gen stealth coatings, more weather-resistant, needing standard maintenance like F-35. Unlike the exclusive 21-unit B-2, B-21 is deliberately designed for affordable mass production targeting $700 million per unit, half the B-2 after inflation, through digital engineering, 3D additive manufacturing, and assembly automation at expanded Palmdale facilities. Congress supports steady $3.5 billion annual FYDP funding as China H-20 and Russia Pak-A-DA threats raise strategic urgency, while Boeing, that lost the main contract, still contributes adaptive engines, opening rivalry potential for future export variants for allies like Australia or UK, potentially adapting B-21 for regional roles. B-21 isn't the end. Its foundation of family of systems with NGAD, CCA, satellites. Modular architecture enables laser weapon, drone swarm, AI autonomous upgrades. Target: 100 Raiders replace B-1B, B-2. B-52 supports conventional missions. Raider strengthens nuclear deterrence, global power projection, crisis response. Strategic question: can US achieve 100 Raiders in the 2030s amid parallel F-47 development, or will ambition shrink due to competing priorities? B-21 proves America leads bomber innovation while China and Russia chase the gap. The B-21 debate will continue. Costs remain significant. Production challenges exist. But the bottom line, no adversary matches this family of systems vision. For America, B-21 buys what money can't: credible nuclear deterrence and strategic supremacy for decades ahead. You decide, can US deliver 100 Raiders on time? Comment yes 2030 or too late. Top predictions featured next video. If you value fact-based military analysis, not clickbait, support Red Phantom by hitting like, sharing this video with friends who follow defense and aviation, and making sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on. Stay aware, stay informed, and stay part of the Red Phantom community.